people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new recent reads video. The first book on this list is called Molly Out of Water. The story is a middle-grade contemporary set in verse, following a young main character who's struggling to regain her magic after a hurricane destroys her home. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. First of all, the writing is so beautiful and it's so lyrical and it's so pretty. The imagery is so well done. The story itself is awesome. I love the family dynamics. I love the friendships. I love the queer gender identity. This book is excellent. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. The story itself is so emotional and it's so good. I want everybody to know that I rated this book 5 stars because I loved it. It felt so special and so well done. I cried twice. This book is absolutely so excellent and it's so good. I wish that I had read this book when I was younger and also like so many different times in my life as well, if that makes any sense. But anyway, overall, this book is absolutely so excellent and it's so emotional. I truly loved it from the beginning to the end. This book is absolutely so excellent and it's so iconic and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So anyway, with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Deep Dark. This story is a YA urban fantasy graphic novel that follows a young sapphic main character who is trying to keep her responsibilities under control until her past starts to haunt her. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. This book is written by the same author who wrote The Girl from the Sea, which I read last year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the year before. But anyway, this story is so good. I rated it 4 stars because I really enjoyed it. First of all, the illustrations are so pretty and so vivid. The story itself is absolutely so excellent. The plot is so engaging and so intriguing. Like, the characters are so well developed and so distinct. The sapphic romance is so well paced and I really enjoyed it. I also really appreciated how the author did the colors in this book and like what they all mean and the timelines and everything, if that makes sense. This book is so good. I'm not sure actually if I would say that I prefer this book to The Girl from the Sea, but anyway, overall, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, so with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Greenwild, A City Beyond the Sea. This book is a middle-grade fantasy sequel, and it's actually, fun fact, the only straight book on this list. But anyway, that aside, this book is actually so fantastic and it's so good. Like I said earlier, it's a sequel. I read the first book in this trilogy last year and it was so good. And this book was absolutely no exception. I'm so excited to read the 3rd book in this series, which I think comes out next year if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I love these characters. I love the friendships. I love the dual perspective. I love the world building. The world building is so magical and so immersive. And I loved how the stakes were raised and new things were introduced as well as new characters while keeping like the old characters alive. Not necessarily alive, but like not dismissing them, if that makes any sense. Sometimes when authors introduce new things, they like put the old things on the back burner and it's so obvious. But anyway, in this book, I just really appreciated the 2 characters like together, the dual perspective, if you know what I mean. This book is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good because it deserves all of its hype and so much more. This trilogy is so underrated. So anyway, with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Asking for a Friend. This story is a middle-grade contemporary following a young, non-binary main character who lies about having friends, and this facade seems to be going well until their mom invites said friends over for a birthday party. So now they have to decide what to do because they've faked having friends this whole time. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but anyway, I had really high expectations for this book because this author debuted last year with Jude Saves the World, which was absolutely so excellent, but unfortunately, I didn't like this book as much as Jude. So basically, first of all, I really appreciated the friendships and the queer representation. The main character, Eden, in this story is biromantic and asexual as well as being non-binary, and they do experience panic attacks. So the queer representation was excellent. The disability mental health representation was excellent. The friendships are so wholesome and so lovely. Like, the characters individually all so cute and so sweet and just so well done. However, in my opinion, I think that some things felt unresolved towards the end, like particularly talking about like Eden's relationship with their parents and how like their relationship with their mother is related to the relationship with their father. Actually, no, I mean that the other way around. I felt like that needed to be resolved towards the end of the book, and it's not really like, it's teased, but I felt like it should have been more explored. But I do understand the point of this book is friendship focused, and don't get me wrong, obviously I understand the importance of like queer community and queer friendships, especially for queer youth, but I just think that regarding their parents and stuff should have been like explored more. So anyway, with that said, I rated this book 3 stars, so take that as you will. The next book on this list is called One Killer Problem. This story is a YA contemporary thriller following a young sapphic main character who's trying to solve the mystery of who killed her math teacher. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. First of all, the mystery itself is so engaging and absolutely so riveting. The writing and the dialogue and the humor is done so well, coupled as well like with the emotional scenes too. The characters are so well developed and so distinct, and they each feel like real people. Like, the sapphic romance is so cute and it's so well paced. The friendships and the family dynamics are so lovely and so wonderful. The queerness is excellent. This book is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. I'm not quite sure if I prefer this book over the author's last YA book that I really enjoyed, but overall this book is so good. Like, I love the puns, I love the humor, I love the characters, the romance and the mystery and everything. Like, this book is so good. So anyway, with all that said, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely highly recommend it. The last book on this list is called Noah Frye Gets Crushed. This story is a middle-aged contemporary following a young sapphic main character who's determined to find out why all of her friends seem to be so boys obsessed and she isn't. I liked this book, but if I'm being completely straight with you, I didn't love it as much as I was really expecting to. I think it's because the last book that I read by this author, Hazel Hill, last year, dove into like much like deeper topics like sexual harassment, and this book is much more lighthearted and happy than that one was. So I think I was expecting something less lighthearted, which sounds weird because I do enjoy like happy queer stories. I think that they are so important, especially for young queer youth. Like, young queer youth need to know that happiness is in your future and they all deserve a happy future, like in general. And obviously I believe that queer representation is normal, but like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but like overall I liked this book. And like objectively, the friendships are lovely, the representation is excellent, the characters are well developed and distinct, the plot is engaging, the romance is so cute and so adorable, and it's a really like happy book. But like for me overall, I think that I was just expecting something a little bit different. So anyway, all that to say, I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars, so take that as you will. So in conclusion, first of all, happy Pride Month. Second of all, my June reading month has started off really strong so far in terms of quality and quantity, and I'm really happy about that, and I hope that it continues to be. So in conclusion, I already said that, but in conclusion for the 3rd time, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the octopus emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!